I did not hear the name of, where he was.
That's all.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
We're good then.
Police officer.
Good evening, everyone. If I could have committee members turn their cameras on and join the meeting, please. As they're coming on, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Committee of Adjustment for Monday, July 4th, 2022. I'll just note that this is a hybrid meeting with some members of the committee and the clerk attending in person in the council chambers and some members of staff and the public attending virtually and in chambers. All the rules of procedure and conduct apply to this meeting as if all attendance was in person. If during the meeting any member of council loses their connection or has technical difficulties, we'll pause for a moment to allow that person to try and reconnect within a few minutes, and assuming we still have quorum, we will continue with the meeting. The meetings are live streamed and recorded. So with that, we will come down to adoption of agenda. Could I have all members please turn their cameras on so we can participate in the meeting? Well, we have quorum on camera, so if your video is not working, you'll just have to speak up when you want to take part. Adoption of the agenda. Could we have, there's no additions or revisions, I'm assuming. Being none, could I get a motion to approve the agenda? Moved by Mr. Townsend, seconded by Mr. Budrick. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest, the general nature thereof. Anyone have disclosure for this evening's meeting? Seeing none. Approval of the Committee of Adjustment minutes for June 6, 2022. Any errors or omissions noted by members? Seeing none, could I have a motion to receive the minutes as presented? Moved by Mr. Budrick, seconded by Mr. Town. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is carried. And the first item, D 13-010-2022, is for 5919 County Road 2, Douglas Hogan and Sandra Bailey minor variance. There we go. Mr. Soni, you have a presentation.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll be presenting the minor variance application. So the proposed application is for the subject lot located at 5919 County Road 2. The applicants are requesting a minor variance to increase the maximum permitted height of a proposed detached garage from 4 meters to 4.75 meters. The property is located on north side of County Road 2, east of Rees Road. Currently, the property contains an existing dwelling. The location of the proposed detached garage is roughly 5.56 meters east of the existing dwelling. So when the committee is considering a minor variance application, it should be in resemblance with all the 4 tests under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act. And as a part of that, pertinent sections from the provincial policy statement were reviewed. Further, the County of Lennox and Addington official plan designates the lands as rural area in the Schedule A. Also, the pertinent section of county's official plan were reviewed, and the Loyalist Township official plan designates the subject land as rural in the Schedule A. So in this case, the proposed detached garage with the increased height from 4 meters to 4.75 meters is recognized as an acceptable residential use and does not appear to conflict with any of the associated policies of both the official plans. The proposal will not impact the residential use of the subject property or the neighboring properties. There is an easement owned and operated by Enbridge Pipelines, along with a transmission station on the neighboring property to the east. The proposed detached garage is at a considerable distance from the easement, and the applicant has also obtained favorable comments from the easement company. And therefore, staff is of the opinion that the proposed development meets the general intent and purpose of both the official plans and is in conformity with the policies of the provincial policy statement. Furthermore, zoning considerations were done, and the township's zoning bylaw zones the land as rural. Again, both the general provisions and zone provisions of the zoning bylaw were reviewed. And the applicant is requesting the height of the detached garage, as I had mentioned before, to be at 4.75 meters as compared to the 4 meters of the maximum permitted height. The height is requested to provide additional storage space within the garage, and the proposal appears to comply with all other setbacks and zoning provisions for the rural zone land. In addition, the proposed detached garage meets the 10-meter setback for gas and or oil transmission pipelines. So when considering a variance of this type, staff consider the impact on the streetscape and neighboring properties. The detached garage will act as an accessory use to the prime residence and is at a significant distance from the residential properties. The proposed detached garage is not in front of the existing residence and is more towards the east within the interior side yard. So the proposal is also in keeping up with the streetscape and character of the neighborhood. Therefore, staff are of the opinion that the general intent and purpose of this zoning bylaw have been satisfied. Moving forward, the requested variance is considered an appropriate development of the land as the accessory building is in keeping with the residential use of the property. The location and the height of the structure will not impact neighboring land uses and serves to promote the intended residential use of the property. For the above reasons, again, planning staff are of the opinion that the variance is desirable, compatible, and appropriate use of land. Finally, the variance can be considered minor as the location and height increase of the detached garage will not negatively impact the neighboring character of the area, the streetscape, and the environment. The detached garage will still maintain the subsidiary and accessory nature as compared to the prime residence and would not pose any safety hazards, and again would result in a residential development that is in keeping with the area. In addition, Enbridge, the pipeline company, has no concerns with the proposed development. And for the above reasons, planning staff are of the opinion that the application is minor in nature. The application has also been reviewed by internal departments and vetted through local agencies to ensure compliance with above criteria. And there were no conflicts or concerns registered from them. Also, at the time of writing the report and as of today, no comments were received from the members of public. So for these reasons and all the reasons mentioned above, planning staff are of the opinion to approve the proposed minor variance application. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions for staff before we open it to the public? Seeing none. We do have some members in chambers. Would someone want to speak to this?
I'm the owner of the property or whatever. It sounds like it's going to be improved.
Could you just come up to the podium, please? Sorry. And could you just state your name and your address, and then?
My name is Doug Hogan, 5919 County Road 2. Sounds like it sounds like it's going to go through your council there, but it sounds of it. I have nothing to add. There's no reason why it should not be approved as far as I'm concerned, right? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in chambers have any comments you'd wish to address the committee for? Seeing none. If you're joining us virtually and you wish to speak to the committee, you could use the raise hand feature. We'll bring you into the meeting and you can present your statement. And there. Call one more time. If anyone is in the virtual meeting and wishes to present, please use the raise hand feature. Seeing none. Going back to the committee, any questions or comments regarding this application? Seeing none. There is a recommendation in the report to approve with the condition. Committee, do we have someone that would like to make a motion? Counselor, sorry. Ms. Parks,
Motion to receive and adopt the recommendations in the report.
so moved, seconded by Mr. Budrick. Any comments from the mover? The seconder? Any other members? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is approved. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you prefer not to, we understand.
I'm good to go. Yes, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending. Next item,
Thanks for your time.
6.1, application for a sign bylaw minor variance, 107 William Henderson Drive. Ms. Furness or Mr. Soni? Please proceed, Ms. Furness.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is an application for minor variance to the township sign bylaw affecting property located at 107 William Henderson Drive in the Loyalist East Business Park. So in accordance with the township sign bylaw, the Committee of Adjustment has been given the authority to approve minor variances to the sign bylaw. The bylaw does have requirements for wall signs and only permits one sign on any side of a wall that fronts on a street. So in this case, the proposed building has been designed to have multiple tenants, and therefore the applicant, Mr. Roger Colburn, is requesting 3 signs on the south wall. So the variance is required to put the 3 signs up as opposed to 1. And a variance is also required just to have a sign altogether on the south wall, as it does not front on the actual street. In addition, the applicant's requesting 1 sign on the east side of the building, which the variance is required again because it does not face the street. So a variance from a sign bylaw differs quite significantly from the variance process we review under the Planning Act, as there's no set criteria to review the variance against. A public meeting is not required and notification is not required. We do, however, recommend that in reviewing these types of variances that we do consider the intent and purpose of the town's official plan and the zoning bylaw, as well as the intent and purpose of the sign bylaw. So in terms of the zoning bylaw and the official plan, it's designated industrial in the official plan and zoned light industrial exception 21 zone in the zoning bylaw, and the uses for the building are permitted. In regards to the sign bylaw, its purpose is primarily to provide some restrictions on signage placement and appearance in order for aesthetic and safety reasons primarily. So as the building design will allow for multiple tenants, and due to the length of the south wall, it's staff's opinion that the 3 signs will be aesthetically appropriate in this location and are required to identify each business. In terms of placing signage on 2 walls that are not facing a street, staff do feel it's a reasonable request, as the building could still be visible from County Road 6 and Taylor Kidd Boulevard. A site plan amendment's also required for this property, so the sign placement and appearance will be further reviewed as part of that process as well. So for the above reasons, staff are of the opinion that the variance be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions for staff before we open it to the public? Seeing none. If there's anyone in the virtual meeting that wishes to speak to this, please use the raise hand feature and we can bring you into the meeting. Seeing none, I'll ask again, if there's anyone in the virtual meeting that wishes to speak to the committee, use the raise hand feature and we can bring you in. Seeing none, we'll proceed. Mr. Budrick.
Just going to put a motion forward to approve and adopt the recommendation.
So moved. We have a seconder. Mr. Townsend. Any comments from the mover? None. Seconder? See none. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. That wraps that up. There's no new other business. The next upcoming meeting date is August 2nd, 2022. And the only thing left is a motion for adjournment. Moved by Mr. Budrick, seconded by Mr. Townend. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. We are adjourned. If you can sign out and sign back in under the committee or the committee of the whole, it'll just take a few minutes for staff to get ready for it. Thank you.